Alright, so welcome to the 5704 team discussions. This video today is going to be on 1,000 years added to our history. You know, there's been some talk about they added 1,000 years to the history because just stuff ain't adding up. Stuff don't make no sense. Like everything in the medieval time they say was just a figment of their imagination. That shit never really happened. So let's check out this video, y'all.
Elite telling you a secret and a different story. These books on the history of the New World are filled with these symbols. What's going on here? You can also see that these symbols are much older and that they've been used for quite some time. This is history being rewritten. Where you still see Phoenician architecture in major cities all around the world. From Cadiz to Venice in California. Why would settlers travel to America to be free and start building European-type architecture? It doesn't make sense. It was already there. And not too long ago, 200 to 300 years ago, there was a great reset, and there has most likely been more than one. The great expositions of the world are all put up by the same establishment in order to keep this continuous lie. How many cities were destroyed in fire? Why put all this effort into building an exposition with all this ornate detail, and it does look like stone, and then go through the effort of tearing it all down in such a short span of time? Some of these buildings from San Francisco look much older. And the truth is, they are. They look very antediluvian, and there's a reason why. Because these buildings were before the flood, which is actually not too long ago. What does that mean? It means we have completely lost touch with reality. 1,000 years of time has been added to our calendar. Think about it. There's 1,000 years of literature, music, and art that are completely missing. The art that we know from the Renaissance is another Venetian scam in which artists were made up for all these great Aryan masterpieces. If you really look into it, there is no text that is before the 1500s. If it is, it's most likely made up. These writings from Benzoni are probably not from the 1500s. Type in any classical musician. You'll see a big gap in the history right before the 1700s. Same for literature. And sure, don't get me wrong, there are examples for different writings from different eras, but most of the time, they don't have a clue when it's from. History as we know is not what we think, and I'm not the only one stating this. I didn't come up with this. One great reference is Fomenko. As many have mentioned, he is an extremely intelligent man known for his feats in mathematics. One of his key works is the New Chronology, where he goes over how our mainstream history comes from one man known as Scaliger. There are some familiar scientists who disagreed with the chronology of Scaliger-Petavius and reckon that the real ancient and medieval chronology. He says that the events in the Bible are far more recent than you can imagine. The Old Testament is actually more recent than the New Testament, ironically. The events in the Old Testament are actually from less than 500 years ago, according to Fomenko. The new chronology offered by Sir Isaac is a lot shorter than the consensual chronology of Scaliger. Newton moved
a lot of the information that used to be known was suddenly taken away and was hidden. History was changed, a big event happened that buried buildings. And we also have issues with our dates, and these all seem to come in again around that time frame, sort of 1700s. As you can see on this crest here, we've got a J. That's a definite J, J648, and what that stands for is J for Jesus. So it's in the year of our Lord, 648 years after the year of Jesus, the year of our Lord. That's how they used to write it. And then in the 1600s, the Jesuits and Joseph Scaliger basically changed all these to a 1, making this 648 year now 1648. So you'll see a lot of these either a J or an I for Iusa, which is another way to say Jesus. You'll see here, this is actually, it's not a tombstone, it's like a...
I'll check it out real quick. So, in 1600s, they turned a J, that was the year of our Lord, which stand for Jesus or Isis, to a 1. And just added 1,000 years to our timeline. Now, think about this. How many people did it they had to convince that it is now year 1600 instead of 600? How does just them changing that date make everybody that's on here on the planet in their head go from 600 to 1600? You gotta convince everybody that The whole year is wrong. By 1,000 years is off. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Because this rock right here clearly says J794. So that's clearly year 794, not 1794. How did they convince everybody that it's not the year 794 no more, but it is 1794? Help me figure this out, y'all. Help me in the comments down there. You know what I'm saying? Let a brother know. Let's go.
Milestone, these put them on the side of the roads to tell you how far you were from certain places. As you can see here, this is quite clearly a J. J794. So this is saying 794 years after the death of Jesus. Okay, so not only have they stolen and changed history, they've actually added 1,000 years. 1,000 years. You can see here, that's clearly a J. 686. So we're not even living in the time frame that we believe we are. Another one, J626. This is a picture from an old book. And again, you can see we've got 656. And now this one looks more like an I than a J. But it's definitely not a 1. So I656 in the year of Isa, well, 656 years after the death of Iusa. Now this is called the King's Desk, and this is a piece of furniture that we're told was made in the 1700s, it's around the 1750s, for King Louis XV of France, I believe. And I mean, you can just see the workmanship. You know, we see a lot of this kind of furniture, and then we see a lot of cheap reproductions, people trying to reproduce this kind of stuff, and they just can't. But what's interesting about this desk is the date. The person who created this desk, apparently, or who at least signed their name to it, you'll see this J is actually dotted. J769.
Yeah, you can clearly see it there, bro. That's clearly a J.
Okay, so
769.
and there's there. And that's just a few examples, guys. These things are everywhere. They're on a lot of maps, a lot of old drawings, coins, pottery, things like this. So if you look into it, it's clear that 1,000 years has been added. Okay, so this J769 became 1769. They've added 1,000 years to our story. So what happened in that 1,000 years, and why was it added, and what were they trying to hide? It's also the time frame that the robber barons started to take over in the Americas. Okay, so there you go. The history that we've been told is clearly not what is going on. We're being lied to, and our history is being covered up. And so in the next episode, we're going to get into who exactly are these people who have hidden history from us and basically stolen everything for themselves and their families. And this is how they've created this generational wealth that is now making the rules, or trying to, for all the people on Earth. So thanks for spending some time with me, guys. Have a joyous day, and I shall catch you on the next upload. Bye for now.
Okay, so talk to me, y'all, about this 1,000 years added to our history timeline. Man, I'm convinced. I really am. I'm really convinced that just alone those dates on them books and stuff, or the monuments, bro, those are J's. That's not a 1. You can clearly see it. The 1 had a dot above it, above a J. That ain't a 1. Come on, man. Why? Tell me why you think that they would add 1,000 years. I mean, I got some theories. And I've done some little bit of research, and I got a theory of why I think it is. But we can chat down in the comments. Give me y'all theories, what y'all really believe, what y'all think. I'll talk back. Okay, but make sure y'all subscribe to the 57418, man. I make dope stuff like this. We talk about this kind of stuff a lot, man. But I'm just getting started, so Man, follow me, man. Let's get this. Let's get this show on the road. You hear me? All right, bye, y'all.